The world believed they knew Tom Cruise as the ultimate doting dad, a fearless superstar who could conquer any challenge. But the heartbreaking truth, Suri Cruise finally revealed, painted a completely different picture, one that has stunned everyone. For more than a decade, people quietly wondered how the action hero could face danger on screen, yet seemingly drift so far from his only daughter. Then, at 19, Suri finally broke her silence. It wasn't through a dramatic interview or tell-all special. Instead, her revelations came through the quiet choices of her own life. Imagine a childhood where your famous father felt more like a distant rumor than a real memory. This was Suri's reality. She grew up with an absence, a space where his presence should have been. Her personal shift became undeniable. She began using the name Suri Noel Holmes, a quiet tribute to her mother, not a rebellion. This wasn't anger, it was a profound release. Then, in a college essay that echoed across the internet, she wrote words that hit harder than any headline. Sometimes we don't grow up with love, we grow up with a space love leaves behind. This single sentence shocked the world, exposing the quiet pain she had carried for so long. Tom Cruise was once the ultimate Hollywood king, always seen with a bright smile, a global icon whose name alone packed theaters. The cameras captured him on red carpets, often carrying his young daughter, Suri, calling her his miracle. This was the public image, a perfect happy family. But behind closed doors, a heartbreaking reality was unfolding. Katie Holmes filed for divorce in June 2012, catching Tom completely off guard just days before his 50th birthday. He later admitted the news hit me hard. Katie's main concern was to protect Suri, especially from Scientology. She planned her escape for months, making covert calls on disposable phones and replacing staff she feared were reporting back. After the divorce, the father who once carried Suri on red carpets was suddenly gone. Tom and Suri have not been seen publicly together since 2012. Reports say they haven't seen each other at all, publicly or privately, since 2013. A source even claimed Tom chose not to see Suri grow up. Tom continued to pay for her education and medical needs, but photos of them together became a distant memory. Suri grew up quietly, realizing she was waiting for footsteps she would never hear again. The public saw a superstar. The private truth was a lonely, growing distance. The quiet distance between Tom and Suri was not a simple outcome of a divorce. It was a carefully enforced separation, dictated by something far more powerful than family ties, Scientology. Katie Holmes, in a rare deposition during a lawsuit, admitted that she left Tom to protect their daughter from the church. She feared that Tom would try to intimidate Suri into joining Scientology. This chilling admission reveals the true stakes involved. Scientology has a strict policy called disconnection. This rule forces members to cut off all contact with anyone deemed a suppressive person or someone who leaves the church, especially if they speak out against it. Because Katie chose to leave Scientology and Suri was not raised within the organization, the church's rules effectively cut her father out of her life. Tom Cruise, a prominent member of Scientology, was reportedly not allowed to see Suri or have a relationship with her because she did not follow the same religious path.
For more than a decade, there have been no confirmed visits, no phone calls that anyone close to the family knows of, and no photographs of them together. While Tom continues to pay for Suri's education and medical expenses, as required by their settlement, he has remained absent from her life. Suri, now 19, has had to accept this heartbreaking silence. She no longer waits for him to show up, no longer checks her phone on her birthday. The silence became a permanent fixture, an agonizing void created by a church's unbending doctrine. Suri spent years living a life almost entirely separate from her famous father. After her parents' divorce in 2012, when she was just 6, Suri moved to New York City with her mother, Katie Holmes. Katie worked hard to shield her daughter from the intense media glare, ensuring a more private, down-to-earth upbringing. This meant no more constant paparazzi or public appearances like her early childhood. Instead, Suri's private world involved attending elite private schools, focusing on her education, and developing hobbies like sewing, painting, and writing. Katie made it her mission to give Suri a peaceful and stable life away from the Hollywood chaos. But this quiet life also meant growing up with a profound absence. Birthdays, school events, and major milestones passed with her father, Tom Cruise, being present. This unspoken weight shaped Suri's teenage years. She had to learn emotional independence out of sheer necessity, often carrying disappointments quietly. While the world speculated, to Suri, her father became more like a distant rumor than an actual memory. Yet, despite this emptiness, sources say she never learned to hate him. Now, at 19, Suri is powerfully forging her own path. She hinted at her college plans in a TikTok video, revealing she'll attend Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, possibly to study fashion. She also made a powerful choice by seemingly using Suri Noel as her name, honoring her mother and stepping fully into her own identity. It's a clear message. She is building her future completely free from her father's shadow. One college essay line reportedly summed it up best. Sometimes we don't grow up with love. We grow up with a space love leaves behind. Suri's 18th birthday in April 2024 marked a powerful turning point in her life. This was not just another year. It was a moment where she could truly choose her own path. She had lived for years in her mother's quiet world, far from the glare of Hollywood. Now, as an adult, she made her stance crystal clear without saying a word in public. Her first big choice came in a very public yet personal way. During her senior year musical, the program listed her name not as Suri Cruise, but as Suri Noel. Noel is her mother's middle name. This was a clear message, a shift in who she wanted to be. It showed she was stepping fully into her own identity. When she graduated in June 2024, the same name appeared boldly on the official program. She was carving out her own lane, not just as the daughter of actors, but as herself. Reports say Suri has no desire to reconnect with her famous father. Sources close to the family have even said Tom does not exist to her. She reportedly does not care about his fame or his wealth. She does not want to rely on him for anything. She feels her mother is her only true parent. Even with dreams of working in the entertainment industry, she will not lean on her father's star power. Instead, she is focused on studying fashion in New York, close to her mother. She wants to remain a private citizen, completely separate from her parents' Hollywood lives. This quiet but firm action speaks volumes about her desire for a life on her own terms.
Suri's public stance, becoming her own person, carves an undeniable line in the sand. For Tom Cruise, this final separation amplifies years of public questioning about his fatherhood. His image, once defined by blockbuster triumphs, now grapples with a narrative of distance and a perceived choice between family and faith. The world watches as his adult daughter actively defines herself outside his orbit, solidifying a lasting impact on his reputation that even the biggest film roles might struggle to erase. But for Suri, this moment is a profound liberation. Turning 18 was just the beginning. Now, truly free to choose her own way, she stands ready to forge an identity completely separate from the immense shadow of her famous father and his controversial life. She can make her own path, build her own relationships, and define her own future without the constant scrutiny linked to the Cruise name. This isn't just a chapter closing, it's a new book beginning for Suri, written entirely by her.